on the government and the opposition coalition to resume the bipartisan talks. The teams representing the two camps continue to blame each other for the stalled talks, while Kenya Kwanza maintains it has always been ready for the bipartisan talks, accusing their counterparts of frustrating the process. The opposition team now says that the Kenya Kwanza team is not serious about the process and has been shifting goalposts on key issues on the table for discussion. Our reporter Henry Tende now looks at the standoff in the process meant to guarantee peace in the country and files the following reports.
The status of the bipartisan talks between the government and the opposition continues to hang in balance, with the two sides embroiled in a blame game over who is responsible for the now vacated talks. In an address to the media, Kenya Kwanza holds it has always been ready for the talks, but their counterparts in Azimio have been frustrating the process.
It is important that we embrace dialogue, and this is why the Kenya Kwanza side of the coalition has come this afternoon to make an announcement that we have always been ready. We have been more than ready to engage in talks. We were in the middle of those talks when the Azimio side pulled off the talks, suspended the talks, but it's fortunate that there has been no dissolution. There was only a suspension, and we are back.
But according to Azimio team, the statement by Kenya Kwanza is a total misrepresentation of facts about the process. Raila's team insists the government side has always demonstrated lack of seriousness in the bipartisan talks from the word go.
We agreed as a team to stop the process of recruitment of IEBC commissioners. We also agreed to address the IEBC and ask them to preserve the servers as we continue with the talks. We did the letters, I signed my part, sent them to our colleagues. They have never signed to date. That is a demonstration of bad faith.
Otiende is adamant the Kenya Kwanza team is not willing to engage on all issues of concern as tabled by the two teams, and that the government side has proposed talks only on the issue of IEBC reconstitution, dismissing all other issues.
At the stage at which they collapsed, their side had identified 11 issues. We had identified 8. How would you then say, let us reconstitute for only discussion on one thing?
Even in this grandstanding, the Kenya Kwanza team maintains any meaningful talks must be anchored in law, imploring their counterparts to go back to the negotiating table.
The issue of IEBC remains the most important issue on the agenda. The reconstitution, the selection panel, and the other issues that relate to IEBC. So, we wish to confirm that we are prepared for the renewed talks to re-engage, but again we reiterate our position. All talks must be conducted within the parameters of the law.
The KK team then, as it was, and to my understanding even up to now, has an attitude issue in terms of those talks. To come to talks and say that you have no power because of some legislation or some provision is to demonstrate bad faith. Anytime you have meaningful talks, even when we had the Kofi Annan talks, and then we didn't even have a new constitution, any bipartisan talks right now is not embedded in any law other than Article 1. Because the expectation is that those who are involved in that talk are actually helping the people exercise their sovereignty directly.
It remains to be seen whether or not President Ruto and opposition leader Raila Odinga will drop their hardline stance and advise their troops to go back to the talks for the sake of the country. Henry Tende, Look Up TV.
Now, the Kenya National Commission on